Hey everybody, I want to chime in real fast. This probably won't be that long. I got some questions from some friends and people about what I think about that new mini Nintendo coming out. I'm guesstimating the size. I really have no idea, but I think it's coming out in a couple weeks. I honestly don't know a whole lot about it. Maybe I do. Maybe I'm lying. I don't know. What I was gonna say was I'm not even sure if there's a specific name for it, than like the Mini NES or like the Nintendo Mini. I don't even know. I mean, I'm not gonna get one, but people have asked my feedback because of what I think about the value of it and the nostalgia factor and that kind of stuff on it. So here's just my feedback. I'm not gonna get one purely because I don't need to. I mean, I kind of got my bases covered on that. I mean, I got Nintendos in pieces here. I mean, I got plenty of physical console stuff, so I don't really need that. But for people who don't have a physical console and they kind of want to have that feeling again of holding a controller and playing on a big screen, and don't really want to get into emulation or don't know how, this is a great idea. I think this is great. The Nintendo Mini, I think it's gonna be great for people that want that kind of feeling again, or who want to kind of show their kids the kind of games they used to play. Because it comes packed with 30 games, right? 30 games, yeah. So the console, what I was told, the price tag on this new mini Nintendo was $60. Is that right? If that's wrong, tell me. I'm just going by some word of mouth here. But that's great. I mean, because that's 30 games. Back in the day, you'd pay 40, $50 a pop for those games. Now you're getting 30 of them for $60 and a console that's reliable. And it's got HDMI output. I've heard it's got HDMI output. That's a good thing too, because with new TVs, you definitely want that kind of accessibility. So it's a great idea. It's a really good idea. It's something I'm really surprised Nintendo did, actually. I'm really surprised they greenlit this, because there's been other systems that have done this. Like, there's been an Atari version where it's just like the Atari joystick with some games built in. There's been a Genesis one, I think, with like 30 or 40 games that came out a couple years ago. And a Nintendo, to me, I always felt they were kind of looking forward to the next thing, not going back much. But I guess they figure if they got these things sitting around, they can make some money off of them. Why not? So it is surprising to see them kind of go back a little bit, but as I said, it's a good idea. It's good for people that want to get into that and, have either old Nintendos that don't work anymore because the pins have been shot and they might not be technically inclined to replace those, because you can do that. You can go back and replace the pins, but even at that point, you have to buy all these games off eBay or whatever. So while I think it's a great idea, the one thing I wish they would have done is actually put in the actual cartridge port to play any other games you'd want to play on it. Now, I understand there's extreme technical limitations to doing that, or I should say extreme technical challenges to doing that, because the console is just going to be a little computer with, no moving parts, little hard drive inside with just pre-loaded emulated games, basically. So to add the extra technology, to add in the 82-pin out, or however many pins it is, I know would take a lot of extra steps. So I understand the challenges there to do that, but it just would have been neat to see a console that could do that also. So you're buying the console to get some games that are built into it, but then you get the ability to say, hey, I'm going to go to the local, game exchange store, or hop on eBay and start buying these games, because that would have really kickstarted the I'll say resale market. Because then people like me, or people who buy things off eBay, could start selling some things for maybe a higher dollar, maybe make them a little easier to find. I don't know, but it could have changed a lot of things in a lot of different ways. But I understand, like I said, the challenges that would come into making something like that work. And so the Nintendo Mini thing, I think, is a good idea for people that don't either want to put the time or effort, or even have the knowledge on how to replace the pinouts on old Nintendos, or find a Nintendo that works and just hope it works, just to play that one game you've wanted forever. Because if you go back, even now, with some games being $5 a piece, or even a penny a piece, some games are. Even if you want to go back and buy 30 games and a real console, it's going to cost you more than $60. So the Nintendo Mini is a great idea financially, technically, and so if you don't have any of those games, you want them, I'd highly recommend getting it. But like I said, it's not going to interest me. I might get it in the future just for the sake of having it, but it's one of those things I'm not going to be like counting down the days until it comes out to get one. That's just not going to happen. But so that's kind of my thoughts. I'm kind of repeating some things here, but if you've been looking to get a Nintendo and you're not into emulation, and you're not into wanting to rebuy the actual consoles and get the old equipment, the new Nintendo Mini looks like a real good solid option. The only other thing I'd say, and I'm not sure if this is true or not, because I haven't really read into it a whole lot, because I wasn't really interested in getting one, so I didn't really look into a whole lot about it. I've just kind of been doing this for some people who've asked what I think about it. The one thing I'm pretty sure this is true is it doesn't support any of the light gun games because it doesn't come with a light gun. It just comes with the 2 controllers, right? Is that right? You tell me if that's right or wrong. I don't know. I'm just trying to start a conversation here. I have no idea if that's right or wrong. So that to me would be the only downfall with that. And on top of that, I know the light gun games won't work on new LCD or LED TVs because of the refresh rates. So I guess technically even having the light gun games would be stupid because they wouldn't work unless they reinvented how the light gun. I'm getting way out of hand here now because the more I think about it, the more it's obvious. Yeah, they can't have light gun games. So that's about it. The only thing I wish they would have done is gone a little extra mile and put the actual cartridge port on it. But again, like I said, I'm kind of repeating myself. There's the technical limitations of that. So, bottom line, I think it's a good idea for someone who doesn't have one, who doesn't have a Nintendo and doesn't have access to some of the games they wanted to play. That's probably the cheapest and most reliable route. And when I say reliable, I mean you're not going to be playing an old console that could freeze up at any minute while you're in the middle of a game and you can't do anything about it. So, that's my thoughts. Take it for what it's worth. And if you get one, let me know how it turns out because I'm sincerely curious.